Welcome to another edition of HOA Concepts. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Lease tool to help manage leasing in your HOA community. As you know, communities such as condos and private communities are often restricted on a number of rentals that can occur in the community. This is often a huge burden on the property manager to keep track of all the people that are renting on the property, when the leases expire, making sure that homeowners submit the proper information to the HOA, and also reviewing that information. So the Lease system automatically handles that for the HOA, where really the only thing the property manager has to do is review all the new leases that have been submitted by homeowners and approve or reject them. All the timing, the email notifications, the reminders are all handled by the Lease system. So to show you how it works, I'm going to log in as a property manager and show you basically what the property manager has to do to approve leases and to basically set up the system. Then I'm going to show you how a homeowner would log in and what the homeowner has to do to submit leases to the website. First, I'm going to go to ownergo.com and log in as a property manager. So here we are on the HOA Manager dashboard. First, I'm going to show you the actual settings. If you want to change the characteristics of the Lease system, you'll change these settings to actually configure how Lease works in your community, and you want to change these settings to match what actually specified in your covenants. So go to My Information, and then go to Admin Website Settings, then click the Settings tab. The Lease settings are at the bottom. You'll see lease handling down here. The probably most important parameter here to set is the percentage of units that are allowed to lease. You can set this to 0, and that will actually disable all the leasing features on the website, so your homeowners will not even see any option to lease their unit. So if you don't allow leasing in your community, you can set this to 0. Otherwise, set it to the percentage of units in your community that are allowed to lease at any one time. Then you have some other options here, such as the number of days that a homeowner has to find a new tenant if their previous tenant has closed their lease. This is all automatic, so as soon as their lease closes, they will have 90 days to find a new tenant. If they don't find a new tenant in that period of time, then they'll be kicked to the end of the wait list, and then some other homeowner on the wait list will be switched to the active list and send an email allowing them to find a tenant and upload a lease. So the next feature I'm going to go over is the lease list swap, which essentially allows a homeowner who is on the wait list to swap with someone else on the wait list that may be at a different position. So let's say that you got authorization to lease and you don't want to lease your unit now, you want to continue living in it. You can actually use this feature to swap with someone else on the wait list who maybe they're at the end of the wait list and they really want to lease now, and they would like to swap with you. Many communities have this turned off because this is not allowed in their covenants, but it is a feature that may be useful if you want to give homeowners the flexibility to change. Many communities allow hardship leasing for their people on the wait list to maybe have a situation where they want to lease or they have a financial hardship. They can apply to the HOA through the hardship button, and the board would have to vote on whether or not they are allowed that hardship lease using the functionality of Lease. The other feature I want to go over is the illegal leasing notification. If you have a homeowner flagged as a illegal renter, let's say they're not authorized to lease but they have tenants in their unit and it's not owner occupied, then you can actually go into their profile, edit their information, and there's an area in there where you can change them to put them on the illegal leasing list. And if they're on that list and you have this feature turned on, it will send them a violation each month with information about how much they owe the HOA as far as a fine, and you set that a fine amount here. If you have it set to 0, then no email will go out. Also, there's the extended lease feature, which If you allow leases to be extended on a month-to-month basis after the first initial 1-year term, then you can check this box and it will turn on that feature allowing homeowners to extend the lease after the lease is finished. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard here and I'm going to explain how the lease approval works. And you see it's front and center as soon as the manager logs into their site. They'll see this at the top of the screen. These are all the new leases which have recently come up. So there's the approve and reject button here. So you can hit this view button to view the lease, and if all the information is correct and it abides by all the rules, you can hit approve. If you have a problem with the lease, you can hit reject, and the homeowner is given a certain number of days to fix the issue. So now I'm logging in as a homeowner, and if I was a homeowner and I wanted to enter a lease, I would basically go to the My Leases section. You'll notice there's a flag here which indicates there is action required. So if I click on that, there's a button here indicating that I'm authorized for leasing and I need to enter my lease. So I'm going to hit this button here. And here it prompts me to fill in the name, the email address, and phone number for the tenants in my unit. There's a call box area here. If I have the call box synchronized with OwnerGo, I can fill in the call box information, adding my tenant's information in here as well if I choose to. There's also this button here at the top which allows me to populate values from the last lease. This is useful if the previous tenants have signed on for another year with me and I want to enter in a new lease with the same tenants. So I can go down here and click next, and then I can click this button here to upload my PDF lease. You can also upload JPEGs or other formats as well. So if I click finish, it will submit that lease to the HOA for their review. There's also the active leasing list up here at the top in the residence menu, and also the waiting list. So you can actually see the homeowners who are on this list when they applied for leasing and their position on that list. If you go to the active leasing list, you can actually see the status of each homeowner. The reason why this is viewable by the homeowners is because it helps in situations where there might be someone who's illegally renting their unit. If a neighbor suspects that that owner is not authorized to lease, it's helpful having them be able to view this list so they can notify the board if there's someone illegally renting their unit. So anyway, that goes over the Prime Lease system as all part of the OwnerGo website. It's free to use for HOAs, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like this video and to learn more about the topics concerning your HOA or property management, click the like button below or subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.